The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls and the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints and rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So, you ready?
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right.
The Packers are now on the clock.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
The Giants are now on the clock.
Can you rock it like rockets?
The Steelers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Are you ready? Set.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Hard as you can go. Steady, to the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets?
The Texans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock.
But can you rock it like rocket
The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock. The 49ers are on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock. Cowboys are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock.
Flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be the best though. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Desto.
The Texans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock.
Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. 16 cars in my front yard. 30 on my wrist while I point to God. Big numbers, big numbers.
The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock.
Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Man can't ball like this, man, Lord.
The Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
If you 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit her max. She like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big
The Vikings are now on the clock.
numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Blue hunts.
The Houston Oilers are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
Okay. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up.
The Bills are now on the clock.
It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Better kill it and did it again. But it's in, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But it's in, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
The Panthers are now on the clock. The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock.